Hello everyone, welcome to the new session of Plant Propagation in Horticultural Plant Part 3. So in this session, we are going to study about grafting. The grafting is a different method. It is having so many methods of grafting. Okay, so that we are going to cover up in this session. And this grafting method is very important as it is used in plant propagation in horticultural plants. So let us start. Propagation by grafting. Grafting is the science and the technique of joining of two living parts from different plants together in such a manner that they will unite and continue to grow as one plant. So we are taking two stems. Suppose we are taking two different stem, one from plant A and one from plant B, like this. And we are joining this. We are joining this with the help of a sellotape or you can say a thread or a cloth, with the help of cloth, like this. So what happened? The conducting tissue which is present in both the stem A and stem B, this is coming from the plant A and B. So suppose this is stem 1 and this is stem 2. We are considering the stem as 1 and 2. So when we are joining this stem 1 and 2, the conducting tissue join together, and the water which has been absorbed from this root of the part 2 conduct that water to the part 1 also. So this is the function of this stem, and when this grafted stem join together, the conducting is done in or followed in this way. So this is the grafting. To accomplish this, one of the two plants serves as a bottom part which contact with soil, and it is called as rootstock or a stalk. So suppose this is a plant part like this. It is having a root system, right? So this is called as stalk. This is called as stalk, or even it is called as rootstock. And the other part, that is we had taken from the another plant and we want to join with this. So this part is called as scion. This part is called as scion. In this plant union, only the scion is allowed to grow as a new shoot of the plant union, and the stalk serves as the root. So we do not allow the stalk to give branches, though it has some buds, but we can remove that buds, and we allow the buds that is present on the scion part of the stem, we allow them to grow. Okay, so in this union, only the scion is allowed to grow in this way. There are two basic strategies for bringing about the union between the two plants in a graft. What is that? What is the two basic strategies? Detached scion grafting is the strategy in which the scion is detached, only the stalk remain rooted. Yes, the detached part is the scion, right? And the one that is rooted, that is called as stalk. Second, this technique is most commonly used for grafting. In this strategy, the two plants are united at predetermined and prepared site, that is the scion and the stalk both remain an integral part of the respective parent plant. So this, when they are joined together, this scion and stalk become one integral part of that parent plant, right? So we take out the scion from one plant and the stalk is from the other plant, right? And we pre-decide that which plant has to be stalk and which plant has to be a scion, right? So this is predetermined. This procedure is used when detached scion grafting is not feasible. The produce harvested from the plant reflect only the characteristic of this scion parent and not both the stalk and scion. So we are taking this scion as the part that reflects its characteristic. Okay, so stalk is not going to reflect its characteristic, only the scion is allowed to reflect its characteristic. The stalk serves only as a ground support, and the stalk serves as a ground support because it is having the root system. So in this method, now we are having the different types of propagation of grafting. The one is that is the spliced approached grafting. First one is the spliced approach grafting. So in this method, both stalk and scion are essentially equal in diameter. This is very, very important point, that the diameter of the stalk and the scion should be same. About 1 year old rootstock is required for grafting. So the plant should be well established, and for that be sure that the stock plant should be 1 year old. So here we can see this is scion part. This is the scion and this is the stalk. Right? So here we cut in that manner that it fits like this, and we can tie it. And you can see this, the birds are only present in the scion, not in the stalk part. So what is the procedure for this? Select a stock plant of 1 to 11 year of age and place the stock plant along the side of the mother plant, that is the scion plant. Select a branch from the mother plant of the same thickness as that of the rootstock. So we will select a branch from the mother plant that will become the rootstock. Place the scion branch running parallel to the stalk of the plant and bring the stalk and scion together. So in this way we can bring the stalk and scion together. Mark the area of 3.75 to 5 centimeter in length where the stalk and scion pieces meet together easily. So here we can see that at this particular point the scion piece and the stalk, they meet very easily, and the slice out thin layer of the bark along with the wood from the marked area of the stalk. So we can slice off that bark and also the wood region and mark the area on the stalk that at this particular point we have to cut it. Give a similar cut of the same size on the scion branch as on the stalk from the marked area. So marking is done initially and then only we are going to cut the scion and stalk. The depth of cut given on the stalk and the scion should be not deeper than 1/3 of the total thickness of the piece. If the stalk and scion are of unequal in diameter, okay, so if they are unequal in diameter, then thicker one should be sliced deeper so that the cambium layers meet easily. The ultimate motto of this joining is that joining of the cambium layers so that the conducting tissue becomes one, right, of both the part A and part B, that is the scion and stalk. So once the cambium is established in the stalk and scion region, the water can be conducted from the stalk to the scion. Bring together the two cut surfaces as soon as possible. Tie the cut surface together in such a manner so that no space is left in between them. So there is no space is present in between the stalk and scion when you are joining it. So the tying can be accomplished either by the SATHEE, that is a type of a rope made up of that is the material that is made up of the gunny bag, right, that is the jute, SATHEE, or we can also use a cloth or a polythene strip. After 6 to 8 weeks, when the union has completed, the stalk is cut above the bandage and the scion below the bandage. Keep the newly grafted plant in a cool, shady place. This is very, very important. This is good method for the young stalk plant up to 1 to 1.5 centimeter in diameter. So this is whip or tongue grafting. This is a good method for this is the second type. This is a good method for the young stalk plant up to 1 to 1.5 centimeter in diameter. So with the plant that is 1 to 1.5 centimeter, we can go for the whip or the tongue grafting. The scion and stalk should be as close as in diameter as possible to provide maximum contact between the cambia of both the parts, right? So if the diameter are very close or it can be same also, then there will be good joining of the cambium from the stalk to the scion. This method is best employed in the winter. This is the best employed in the winter. This method is same as that of the spliced approach grafting. It differs from the simple approach grafting in manner that a tongue is made on both the stalk and scion for better cambium contact. So now you can see this is the tongue like this. A wedge is cut in the same way, contrary. The wedge is cut in the another, that is the stalk region. This is stalk, this is scion. Now you can see here they get fitted in such a manner that they are having close contact, right? The stalk and the scion are spliced together. The tongue get interlocked. So here you can see the interlocking of both the tongues of the scion and stalk. It is tied with the thread, and also it is tied with the cloth, so that the joining, there is no microbial or any other infection in this joining, right? So it is totally covered. Now, what is the procedure for this whip or the tongue grafting? Prepare the stalk and scion exactly in the same manner as described in the spliced approach grafting. So, all the procedure is almost the same. Only the thing is different that we are giving this tongue-like grafting. Cutting is like a tongue in both the stalk and scion. So the 2 to 5 centimeter long tongue-like cut at the top of the stalk and corresponding cut at the bottom of the scion are made. So in this way, we are doing this, and it is better to make the cut in one single stroke of the knife so that other surface is very, very smooth. Starting from the middle of the sliced area, if the stalk gives a sloping cut into the wood above 1.25 centimeter deep in such a manner that tongue thus made point upward, and similar cut is given in the scion pointed downward. So if the cut is upward in the stalk region, then in the stalk it will be downward like this. On each of these cut surfaces, reserved cut are made with which, when stalk and scion are joined, fit into each other. So this is very, very important. Fitting of the scion and stalk with the help of making this tongue-like cut, right? And giving a large area for coming together. In this way, we provide a larger area of contact between the stalk and scion, and the cambium layers of the stalk and scion can be joined. Place two cut surfaces in such a manner that the tongue of each other are inserted in the slits of each other. And after joining the stalk and scion, they should be tied securely with the plastic strip or the banana fiber. You can use this SATHEE material also. Now, the third type is the slide grafting. This is the third type of grafting. So, this method of grafting is very useful when the root stock is thick, being older. Now, our root stock is quite older and it is thick also. In this, an angle cut is made into the stock. So, we will see how the cut is made, and a scion is prepared and fitted into the cut by bending the scion gently and backward to open up the cut. The thickness of the stalk is generally more as compared to the scion. So the stalk is having more thicker than the scion, and this method is practiced in mango, fig, sapota and mangosteen. So here we can see this side grafting, like a piece of bark and a wood about 1/4 through the stem is removed along the side, and here you can see a second downward cut is made, forming a thin tongue. So in this way we are doing the side grafting. Prepare the rootstock by making an angle cut in the stalk, and slanting cut 2.5 to 4 centimeter at the base of the rootstock at an angle of 20 to 250 degree are made. 20 to 250 degree are made. And prepare the scion from the terminal shoot of past season's growth by removing the leaf lamina, while petiole are kept intact before 7 to 10 days of grafting, right? So we have to prepare a scion from the terminal shoot and the past season growth of removing the leaf and lamina, right? In the scion, the two slanting cut, that is one 2.5 to 4 centimeter long on one side and other 1 centimeter on the other side, and given exposing cambium layer. So in this way, when you cut in this way, the cambium layer get exposed and it can be joined to the stalk region. Insert the scion into the cut made on the rootstock, and after insertion the scion, wrap and tie it with the polythene strip or the gunny piece or with coir string even. After a month, the buds in the scion begin to grow, and when the buds grow 7.5 to 9 centimeter long, the rootstock stem above the joint is removed. So this is the fourth type of method, that is the cleft or wedge grafting. This method is useful for grafting older plants with thick stem, and it is practiced in the rootstock having equal and or greater diameter than that of the scion. Again, side grafting is also for the older plants, right? And in this region also, in this type of grafting also, the rootstock region is having a greater diameter than that of the stalk. This method is commonly employed in rejuvenating the old orchard by the top working, and the grape, walnut, hazelnut, etc. are propagated by this method, and this type of grafting is done in late winter or early spring. So here we can see a cleft is made with the help of an instrument, right? The split in the stalk is held open by a wedge or insertion of the scion. So here we can, these are the two scions, right? We can see here and here. The two scions are inserted in the stub. So this is the stub, that is the opening, one at each end of the split, right? So if this is a diameter, we are making this a split, and here we are placing two stalk. Now procedure. Prepare base of the scion in the form of wedge. Select rootstock of 5 to 7 centimeter or more girth from the desired plant kind. Decapitate the stalk at 45 centimeter above the ground level. The stalk is given vertical smooth cut 7 to 9 centimeter down, and then it is split at the center. So center we can make a split, and this straight vertical split is kept open with the help of wedge placed in the center of the stub. So with the help of wedge we can put the opening, the split will be open with the help of this wedge. Scion 8 to 9 centimeter long and having 2 to 3 buds are selected and made into a tapering wedge. So with the help of tapering wedge like this, it should be tapering wedge so that it can be inserted deep into the strip. 2 such scions are inserted in the slides of the vertical split so that cambium layer of the stalk matches. So the cambium which is present here, it will be matched with the split which is present in the stalk of the plant. With that of this scion, and secured tightly with the waxed cloth. And after the successful graft union, one of the scion which is well developed is allowed to grow. So only one of these kind which is well developed that will be allowed to grow, other can be removed. This method is the modification. Now we are having the Wiener grafting, fifth type, Wiener grafting. This method is the modification of the slide grafting and most commonly used in the method of propagation of the fruit crops. So this is quite common. It is a simple method, and 1-year-old stalk having 1 to 1.5 centimeter in diameter and 3 to 6 month old scion with a similar diameter is selected. The terminal and the next to terminal shoots are the most ideal. The mango is commercially propagated through Wiener grafting. So for mango, this Wiener grafting is very common. It is most ideal for the establishing in situ orchard and top working of old unproductive orchard. So the one orchard that is quite unproductive, we can use this Wiener grafting, and also for the in situ orchard. What is the procedure? Select stock plant of 10 to 12 months old and old of 1 to 2 centimeter in diameter. So the stock should be 1 to 2 centimeter in diameter and it should be 10 to 12 months old. The shoots are defoliated 7 to 10 days prior to the actual grafting, leaving the petiole attached to force the latent bud. Make a shallow downward and inward cut about 3 to 5 centimeter on one side of the seedling plant at a height of about 10 to 15 centimeter from the soil surface, or just above the crown of a stock plant with the help of a knife. So with the help of a knife, we can have a cut, right? A cut so that we can put that scion part in that cut. So just above the crown of the stock plant with the help of a knife, we can have a cut. So at the base of this cut, a second short inward and downward cut is made and intersecting the first cut. So we are giving two cut and the second cut should intersect with the first cut. Remove the bark along with the wood, thus making an oblique cut, and cut should not deeper, that is 1/3 thickness of the stalk at the lower end of the slanting cut. Select the branch of the desired variety, that is 10 to 15 centimeter long and lead pencil thickness. Very important that the stalk region should be pencil thickness, and that should be 10 to 15 centimeter long. Remove the leaves of the selected branch while still attached to the mother plant about 10 to 10 days before the actual date of the grafting. So when you get select the stem, you can remove all the leaves from there and the stem is still attached to the mother plant, and this is done 12 days prior to the grafting. After 8 to 10 days, sever the selected branch from the mother plant day on which the operation is to be done. On the basal end of this scion, give an identical slanting cut as that of the stock plant. So again, the cut should be as of the stock plant in the scion region. Place the cut part of the scion along with that of the stalk in such a manner that the cambium layers can be matched as close as possible. Tie the union portion tightly either with the wax cloth or the polythene 200 gauge of 1.25 to 2 centimeter wide strips, leaving the terminal end free. Okay, so here we are having another type of grafting, that is softwood grafting. This method grafting is done with mature procured scion defoliated 7 to 10 days prior to the grafting on emerging soft coppery red shoot of the rootstock, which is about 3 to 8 months old. The leaves of the stalk must be retained while grafting to get high success. So very uncommonly, this stalk part is having leaves. In the earlier types of grafting, we have seen that the leaves of the rootstock has been removed. But here, the leaves of the stalk must be retained while grafting to get high success. The graft are secured firmly using 1.5 centimeter wide and 200 gauge polythene strip. The cleft or wedge grafting technique is used for the softwood grafting. This grafting technique is effective in dry, hot weather or in the area of low rainfall. So, this particular type of grafting is adapted to the region where the rainfall is less or even the dry, hot weather. It is being used successful in the propagation of mango, cashew, sapota, avocado, tamarind, etc. Okay, so we are having the last type, that is the epicotyle grafting or stone grafting. So in this technique, 2 weeks old seedling rootstocks are used for grafting. Very uncommon. 2-week-old seedling rootstock. The seedling rootstock that is just 2 weeks old, in this technique we are using that. And in this technique require a mild temperature and high relative humidity for the better success. So be sure that it is having a mild temperature, comparatively less temperature, and having high humidity availability. So it has been commercialized for the rapid propagation of mango in Konkan region of Maharashtra. June and July are the most suitable months for the stone grafting, because at this particular time the temperature is quite moderate in the Konkan region and it is having high humidity as well. Now, what is the procedure? Select 2-week-old seedlings rootstock having tender stem and the coppery leaves. Treat rootstock with 0.1% carbendazim for 5 minutes. So the rootstock that is treated with the carbendazim for 5 minutes, and that should be of 0.1%, and headed back the seedling stem leaves, that is 6 to 8 centimeter long stem with the stone. Make 3 to 4.5 centimeter longitudinal cut in the middle portion of the cut stem epicotyle, and select a scion stick that is 10 to 15 centimeter long, 4 to 5 months old, with the plumpy terminal buds. Very, very important. 4 to 5 months old stock we are choosing, and just 1 week or 2 week old this stock region we are choosing. Make a wedge shaped slanting cut on the lower side of this scion stick. The scion stick then inserted into the cleft of the seedling properly, so that cambium of the rootstock and the scion overlap each other. So like all other method, our motto is to just join the stalk and the scion region in such a way that the cambium should be in a proper way. The cambium should be joined in a proper way. Tie the union with 2 centimeter wide, 10 centimeter long polythene strip of 150 gauge, and then plant the graft in the polythene bags or a nursery. So this is all about the different types of grafting. Now, what are the precautions that should be taken while grafting? First one, ensure that the rootstock and the scion should be healthy. Yes, because they have to be like joined together and they are not having a much amount of food, they are not having the conducting tissue developed, so for the scion region, and so that this rootstock and the scion should be very healthy. right? So select shoot and the stalk of the same thickness for the grafting. This is also very important, that the stalk and the scion should be of same thickness, so that the joining of the cambium must be in a more feasible way. Third point, ensure that the rootstock and the shoot should have compatibility for the union. Yes, both should be very compatible. The plant should be compatible to each other. It is not such a way that you are taking one plant and the another plant that is not compatible to each other, right? So the scion is usually no longer than the size of the regular lead pencil, right? Generally, we keep scion a bit diameter that is matching to the lead pencil. So this is in major cases that the scion should be of longer than the size of the regular lead pencil. Grafting is usually done using the dormant plant. So we are doing this grafting in a dormant plant, and these plants have no leaves except evergreen plants. In some cases, rootstock may be actively growing. So the rootstock may be actively growing, but the scion should not be growing. Ensure that the cambium tissue of both the parts, that is the stalk and scion, must be properly aligned. So once they are properly aligned, the conducting tissue, they can conduct the water in a proper way. Ensure the scion placed properly on the stalk and also wrapped properly. So the placing of the scion on the stalk should be taken care at the time, and it should be wrapped properly. It should be tied with the rope or any thread or a polythene bag, right? So always use sharp knife and make a sharp clean cut to ensure good contact of the tissue. So this is also very important. If the cuts are very sharp, clean cuts are there, then there will be a good contact of the tissue. So this is all about this session, right? And we have completed 3 sessions for the plant propagation in horticulture plant. I hope one more session will be there. So we will complete it, and till then, thank you very much.